So I've got something really cool to talk about today. Hey everyone, what's up? Open World Games here, and let's dive straight into the news about all things Anthem. So a lot to go over today concerning gameplay changes to Anthem. So this is going to be a big video. Also, live stream update for you guys. And then, of course, you guys are wondering why you are here. What could be so big that could be teased for Anthem? Well, check this out. This was retweeted by the official Anthem Twitter account. Has been working on something new, really excited to share this soon. It comes from Neil Bloomkamp. If you don't know who he is, of course, the creator and director of District 9. You guys may remember that movie. It was an awesome movie. Freaking loved it. So you're probably wondering, well, what could this mean? Would we be seeing an Anthem movie or something like that? Well, not exactly. So, Oats Studios, which I believe Neil Bloomkamp runs the studio, it says this: we've been working on something cool, excited to share soon, hashtag Anthem game. Now, this studio, a lot of people are wondering, well, is this going to be a live action trailer? Is this going to be a full fleshed out movie? Well, this studio, if you look into their Facebook page, they go on to say this about the studio. Oats Studios makes experimental short films a testing ground for ideas and creativity, leading to full-scale feature films based on ideas created here. If you like what you see, get behind us. They say check out oatstudios.com or our Steam page for more information. This is very interesting. So what I researched is I did find out that it appears they make short films right now that are roughly 25-30 minutes long. So we could be seeing a short film dedicated to Anthem very soon, and I'm totally hyped for this. Now, this could be used as a testing ground for a full feature film. As you know, a lot of the gaming industry is extremely interested in making full-blown movies. You have, for example, Ubisoft making a Division movie. So perhaps EA is also interested in getting into the movie industry more and more. And what a better way to work with Neil Bloomkamp, who did, District 9. He's already familiar with robots. He did that other robot movie. Now, it's slipping my mind, but he's very familiar with the robotic look and stuff like that. But yeah, let's keep going. Oh no, our Colossus got down. So sad. Okay, so also I did want to mention something real fast. This is super important. So as you guys know, I'm going to be covering this game post-launch extensively, and this is a looter shooter. It's going to be all randomized. So getting gear is going to be tough to highlight. So I'm curious if you guys would be interested in sharing your gear and finds with me. So if you find a really cool weapon and stuff, well, I was thinking you can submit it to me and I can showcase it here on, Open World Games. So yes, that's what I'm going to do. Check out the description below for a chance to submit your gear and weapons. Funny moments, all sorts of stuff, epic, kills, boss fights. Go for it. Just save that link in the description below. If you find out anything really cool, if you have a tip, a character build, a javelin build, whatever, submit it to me, and I may actually end up showcasing it, giving you full credit. Of course, I did this with Fallout. It's a lot of fun. Cannot wait to see what you guys actually find in the world of Anthem. It's a big game, and I'm going to need some help finding all the cool stuff. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about that live stream. So I have a quick update about the upcoming Anthem live stream. So this was the question from Nahilin, who says, when is the live stream? I'm sure the date and time have been plastered all over, but somehow, if so, they still slip by me. And this was a response from Jesse of EA, who's the community manager. He says, it hasn't been actually, but we're aiming for Wednesday. Look for an official announcement tomorrow. So there you have it. That should be coming actually today. So that announcement should hopefully be coming today. I'll keep you guys in the know. So follow me, on Facebook, Twitter, all over the place. Also, Discord is a great place. Just see the description below if you really want to stay up to date on all things Anthem. And subscribe here on YouTube, of course. So let's also go over what Michael Gamble had to say more recently. He offered some wise tips, which led to some questions from fans. So let's do this. So Michael Gamble, first of all, says this: some tips I want you to have before playing the game. Please try to avoid spoiling the story for anyone. If you care about the story, be careful watching streams. Guys, I won't be spoiling the story here on my channel at all, so don't expect like a full walkthrough or anything like that. I'm going to be sticking to news and, weapon finds and stuff like that. Next up, he says this, in between missions, talk to the people in Tarsus. They have stories to tell, and I'm proud of the awesome characters the team have written. Many of them hilarious and offer great insight into the world. And then he goes on to say, we give you a bunch of coin in the beginning. I remember playing a few hours to see what javelin... I recommend playing a few hours to see what javelin and look you want. The customization system is deep. In other words, don't blow it all in 5 minutes. Good tip there for sure. So yeah, just be patient. And then he goes on to say this, use the alliance system. It's awesome. You'll get good coin from this. That's also an extremely good tip. I noticed that was kind of being neglected at events. Of course, everyone was, you know, scurrying to get the gameplay. But yeah, definitely check out the alliance system. The next up, he says, if you like a challenge, play on hard. The loot is better and the missions are beefier. Just don't be surprised if you get your butt handed to you until you're good. Now, this had a follow-up question to it. This is where the follow-up questions come in. So this was the question from Anthem Fan Forever. Is the hard difficulty harder on full game? I didn't even try easy or normal, and hard wasn't really what I expected. I've seen that sentiment a lot as well, that there was such a huge difference between hard and Game Master 1. So this was the response here. Michael Gamble says, since the demo, yes. So it looks like hard difficulty has become, you know, a bit more difficult in the final game, which I think is actually quite appropriate. You don't want the game to be too easy. All right, so let's talk about earning coin. So this is what Angel Sauro says. He says, so is earning coin random, or are there specific ways to earn a steady amount, or should I just wait to find out? Great question indeed, and here is the reply. Michael Gamble says this, challenges, alliance system, and some missions too. So that's what you're going to really want to focus on when going into playing Anthem, is making sure you check your challenges every single day. Make sure you're actually participating in the alliance system, of course, and not neglecting those things as you head out into the free play in the open world. And then, of course, heading back to Fort Tarsus and taking on the side missions, by the way. Grab those side missions and stuff like that. You don't want to miss out on all the stuff on offer when you are in free play. Alright, so there's been some concerns about this game lacking in story and lore, that it would just end up being another Destiny. So this was what Michael Gamble had to say. He says, Anthem has a lot of lore, like a lot, if you're into that. And yeah, I think we are definitely into that. We want story with our games, whether it's multiplayer or not. Story adds a lot to it. And this was the response from Ministry of Geeks. It says, like Destiny lore or real lore? And I think a lot of us get what he means there. Michael Gamble did say, I have no idea what that means. And Ministry did reply saying, so we have to hunt around multiple web pages for lore cards, or is it all right there in the game and makes sense? So great question. It would be nice if it actually did make sense. And Michael Gamble says this, it's all in game, it's very Bioware. So great response there. I'm super excited about it. You know, walking around Fort Tarsus, I really do feel like they've built something very interesting here, and I really do want it to work, both in the short term and the long term when they keep adding to this game over time, because there's so much potential for these shared open world experiences to have good story for sure. All right, so let's talk about the wind wall. Jeremy says this, seriously, can the wind wall be placed in the air? Kind of useless for a javelin that is centered to be in the air and can't place a wall of wind in the air comprised of wind. Alright, and the response was this from Jonathan Warner of Bioware, who says the wind wall must be anchored to something. It protects ground-based allies, but you can also attach it to spires and towers to give hovering heroes some covers as well. Hashtag tacky. So yeah, there's that response. If you didn't know that, now you know. So yes, it is time for your top comments. Remember, leave a comment down below. It could end up right here in the video. So this centers around my previous video I did about Bioware opening up about PvP. So if you wanted to find out about what Bioware would do if they did pursue PvP, check out that video on the channel here for sure. But let's dive straight into what you guys had to say about it. So Tuber says this, no, I don't want PvP. Everything is trying to be PvP, and I'm so sick of it, and I think that is the sentiment going around for sure. So I did do a poll about PvP, and it looks like over 70% of you guys do not want PvP at all to make its way into Bioware, but 30% or so, I think, kind of are interested in PvP, so it seems, but the poll still is not finished, so I'm going to keep updated about that poll as it keeps going, but I think it's going to end up being, in my opinion, I'm seeing the sentiment being more like 80% or something like that. I'm seeing the majority not wanting PvP at all. Alright, so Drayden Ivy says, Apex Legends is EA's PvP. Leave Anthem alone. That way we can play both of your games, and both games have their own slot in our hearts. This is so true. There's so many games out there already offering stellar PvP experiences. It's extremely difficult to even compete anyway. You know, so there's several games that I have seen trying to get involved with the PvP scene, and why even try if, you know, you're not going to put like 150% effort into it, because that's basically what's required to even compete in the PvP realm. So, you know, my personal opinion, again, is focus on the PvE for the foreseeable future. Alright, so finally we have Daniel Larson who says this. Personally, I love PvP, but I do not want it in Anthem. Why? Because they'll end up balancing the classes around PvP due to all the toxicity. Also, it brings another part of the community we truly can be without. As much as I don't mind it, I know it will impact the PvE, just as it has done in Destiny, World of Warcraft, and literally any game that have both. The problem will be there will be a part of the community screaming for nerfs of this or that class, or mod, or ability, or whatnot, because it's too strong. And making changes for, say, PvP not affecting PvE is massive work for Bioware. Rather than spend the time on PvE content. Yep, so, yep, totally agree. And I'm seeing that in the, you know, comments on my previous video. Again, check it out. It's definitely interesting what Bioware would do if they did do PvP. It sounds like they would definitely not influence what is done in PvE. They would make like a separate mode, but it just sounds like so much dev time would go towards something that I think a lot of us are not interested in, when that dev time could be used for something else. So, yeah, I could see being a developer being tough, for sure, but you got to listen to your audience, I think, for the first year, or even 2 years, or foreseeable future, you know, permanently not include PvP. I don't know. But remember, guys, yeah, I do want to remind you again, if you do find anything cool in the world of Anthem going forward, be sure to submit your Anthem gameplay, character builds, whatever, funny moments, tips, tricks, to me. I'm going to have that form in the description below. Save it for later use. Trust me, you're going to want to save that. I will credit you if I do use any of your gameplay or rare finds. If you find a legendary weapon, how to get it, whatever, I will definitely source you and credit you. But guys, thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned here to Overworld Games for more Anthem goodness, and of course, other Overworld gaming goodness. Man, you know what? We are fast approaching March here and spring. That's when the rumor is we should be hearing about Borderlands 3, and then hopefully getting more news about Cyberpunk 2077. Those are the other games that are on my radar currently. And then once we approach June, we should be getting some exciting stuff from E3. Guys, stay tuned. It's going to get awesome. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Take it easy.